Welcome back to Focus on South Texas. As we wrap up Mental Health Awareness Month, there is an organization that is helping veterans improve their quality of life. Train a Dog, Save a Warrior provides training of medical alert service dogs to veterans, first responders, and civilians as well. Bart Sherwood is the founder and program director of Train a Dog, Save a Warrior, and he's joined with Chief and Sergeant. Welcome to the show. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate being here.
They are such good fellas here.
They know to be on their best.
Yes, we gave them a little bit of treats first, but yes, they are nice. And this program helps veteran service members that have different issues. Correct. Like PTSD and military-induced anxiety, depression syndrome. What are some statistics related to helping our service members?
As far as the statistics for helping them, there's basically about 80% of our veterans come home with some form of anxiety, depression. And I don't like using the word PTSD because that stigmatizes everybody into a mental health, mental illness issue. And it's not mental health, mental illness. It's really an occupational hazard. And MIADS was an acronym that I came up with because it better described what they were going through. Part of the problem with, treating somebody is getting to want them to help themselves. And so if you stigmatize it from being a mental illness problem where everybody looks at them and talk about it as an occupational hazard, they actually do better. And by being part of the TATSAL's PTSD program, which PTSD for TATSAL stands for Participant Trained Service Dog, so you're already starting to destigmatize everything by renaming it, and they get a chance to go ahead and train the dog from start to finish. And so by going into this program of really working with their own dog one-on-one, whether it's a shelter rescue or a personal dog, they get to build that self-confidence, self-trust, self-esteem up back into their mindset. And they're not Americans, they're Americans. So they can train a dog. And so the belief has to be that you can train somebody to train the dog. And so our trainers are very successful in helping the veterans that want to train their own dog. And by training the dog from start to finish, they actually have a new occupation. So when they're triggered for a memory, the dog says, wait a minute, you're here and now with me. You're a dog trainer. You're not a 11 Bravo infantryman or a 65 medic, out on the battlefield. You're here with me. Come back. And so the dog's able to do that a lot better. In March of 2013, the VA announced there were 22 veteran suicides a day. Here we are, 2022, and they're still talking of 22 suicides a day. And the military keeps talking about the increases they have every year. And I just decided that last year, let's not talk about the suicides, let's talk about suicide preventions, because that's what TATSAL is about. It's about suicide prevention. And we've got over 1,300 suicides that we've prevented. So following the Americans with Disabilities Act is our guideline, and there's a lot of veterans out there that can train their own dog, and they have a service dog and they didn't go through a program, but the dog has the same benefits as any other service dog out there, and they take their dog with them and they're off the suicide bubble. And really that's what it's about. It's not about programs, it's about getting these veterans back into a quality of life with their family so they can move forward and become part of their family, their neighborhood, and their communities again, and give back to the community like they gave back to the world when they served at war. The trainers work with the veterans one-on-one and in groups and give them that ability to start learning how to train their dog. So when they have to replace their service dog, they have the ability to do it. And there's no 3 to 5 year wait. They get into the program as quickly as they turn in their application and paperwork. It may take a little bit of time to find the right dog, but if they have their dog, we evaluate them. If they don't have one, they will find a suitable one. And then it's basically, how quickly you want to go through the program and do everything and become proficient.
And there is also the Train a Dog, Save a Community member as well. Can you tell us about this program?
This program started out as Train a Dog, Save a Civilian, but because our funding and our mission statement was all about veterans, we couldn't just bring civilians into the program and give them the benefits that the veterans get out of the program at no charge. So I made told our trainers that if we have a civilian, charge them, but charge them based on what the TATSAL donation is. which is anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000. And it depends on how much work the civilian puts into it. And this past February, I was in Houston receiving an award from an oil and gas group, and a woman came up to me and was telling me that, you know, her son, who's autistic, but he's a high functioning autism, and could really benefit from having a service dog. And I said, well, you know, this is what it costs. And it's like, well, I just don't have that kind of money. Even though she works for a big, you know, chain restaurant, I said, well, maybe they'll go ahead and support it or whatever, or your insurance may pay for it. And it just got me to thinking, you know, we've got to do a better job for other people, children who are subject to bullying, racism. Not everything's mental health. I call it a behavior-acquired anxiety depression syndrome. You know, let's not call it mental health, because when you're getting bullied, it's not you're not mentally ill. You're just being picked on because you're small, or you're of a different ethnic group, or you're not smart as somebody else, or you're not as athletic. But bullying it's an acquired behavior, that anxiety and depression. So if we can go ahead and get a child into the program to go ahead and start learning how to train a dog and build up his self-esteem, self-confidence, self-trust, then he's ahead of the bully, because now he's in control of the narrative. And it works for anybody, domestic violence survivors. This program covers the children, it covers community members, seizure control, diabetes, migraines, whatever it is. And so we made it available now at no charge to any community member. And you know, my job is to go out and raise money and awareness and get funding. So it's just another part of my platter that I'll put on there. But there's no charge for any applicant that applies to TATSAW for the training of their dog. The commitment they have to get a service dog is that a service dog is a 24-hour, 7-day, 365 days a year, you know, battle buddy is what we call them. So you have to make that commitment that you need that dog, but it's going to help you because you're not sure when your medical condition is going to spike and you need the assistance to get that quality of life back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Before we go, tell us about, for those interested in applying for the program, how can they do that? And for those who want to support your program, how can they do that as well?
For those that want to apply to the program, they can either reach out on the website with a short, you know, please contact me form, and then I usually send an email that says call me at my phone, or they can call me directly on my phone. I answer all questions. I answer all phone calls. I don't have our application is not it's online because I want to talk to every person, because they need to know how the program works to see if it's going to be for them or not. We've had over 15,600 applications since 2010, and I've handled every one of them. Best way that you can help TATSAW is by making donations.
Well, thank you so much for
Well,
sharing
thank
and
you.
for all that you do. And fellas, y'all were so good. Thank you as well.
Can you look in the camera and say goodbye? So, Chief, look over there. Look over there. No, the TV set, you know, the one that barks sometimes.